Come on in. It's the Sports Parlor Podcast, brought to you by BetJack.com. And now, please welcome the guys who know it all, Phil Taylor and Nick Padone.
All righty, welcome on in to a special episode of the Sports Parlor Podcast presented by BetJack. I'm your host, Nick Padone, out here today at Saucy Brew Works, downtown Cleveland in Ohio City, with former Cleveland Browns defensive tackle Phil Taylor. Phil, what is going on, man? I'm glad we got the show out on the road again.
Oh yeah, it's nice to be out again, man. I like it when we're out on the road, man.
Yeah,
good to see people, man. Good to meet new faces.
Yeah, definitely. So we're out here at Saucy Brew Works in Ohio City. We got Phil the Sharpie. We found it. So out here hanging out with the good people with BetJack. Of course, we're talking some Cleveland sports. Guardians and White Sox is the occasion why we're out here today. Obviously, the Cleveland Guardians are red hot right now, winning a ton of baseball games, just doing it the way that we like to do it, Phil. We talked about it a little bit on the show this week when we were in studio. This is a young team, but, man, they are talented, and they're in first place in the AL Central. They're the favorites to win the AL Central on BetJack.
It's awesome, man, when you see a young team, man, just in a almost veteran league, just winning like this. You know what I mean? So I don't watch too much baseball, but I've noticed this young team is kind of taking everybody by storm.
Yeah, and especially come playoff time. I mean, obviously, it's the race right now. You know, the race to October is just to get through these next couple weeks. Right now, they do have a tough stretch of games. I think their next 10 or so games are all against opponents with records of 500 or better. How hard is that for a young team, you know, just like in your experience in a different sport, going up, you know, against some good competition when they know that playoff livelihood is on the line? Oh,
yeah, it's money games right here, man. Coming up, these young guys, man, they got a lot to prove, you know, and it's also it's a good rehearsal, man, what they're going to get, you know, throughout their years in the league. So for these guys to, you know, go on this little stretch and they can, you know, come out of here with a positive win-loss, you know, that shows how good they can be.
What do we got to do to get Phil Taylor out to the ballpark, out to Progressive Field? It's probably been a minute for you, right? Since you've been to when's the last time you've been out at Progressive Field?
I think the last time I actually been to a game at Progressive may have been in the playoffs.
Okay.
The last time when they were in the playoffs.
Okay, yeah. So is that the stipulation? If they make the playoffs again, we could see Phil back at the ball yard?
Maybe. I've been trying to get out there a lot more because, you know, my son, he's playing baseball, so you know, he's been to one of the games this year. I wasn't able to make it, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get out there more.
What position's he playing?
Right now, he doesn't really know. He's just playing everything. You know, he just made the little 8U travel squad for next year.
Okay.
So we'll see how he goes.
Yeah, that's a good time, man. It's definitely good to get him out there and get him playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for these Guardians, I'm obviously looking forward to it. From a betting perspective, though, they are the favorite to win the AL Central, their division. So they came into the year, you know, they had the third best odds, fourth best odds, and then starting the season was a little bit of a surprise. The odds makers didn't adjust. They were like, nah, this isn't going to hold on. This isn't going to hold out. But finally now on BetJack, they adjusted that in a hurry, and now they are the betting favorites. So you would have to bet a good deal on the Guardians to win the division if you want that payout because they're the favorites now. That's how it goes.
I mean, you wanna win big, you got to bet big.
especially in baseball. So they are betting favorites tonight against the Chicago White Sox. Obviously, the White Sox are really good, but they've been a little bit of a disappointment. They're third in the AL Central. They got some big names on that squad. They got Jose Abreu. They got guys that could really launch the long ball, but we got Shane Bieber on the bump for the Guards tonight. That's obviously the ace. So it's going to be a good game. Obviously, my pick for that, we're going to go Guardians money line, pretty easy.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it too.
Okay, cool. We'll both take Guardians money line. You know, if you're a weekly watcher of the Sports Parlor Podcast, we got the bets every week. We put them up on the screen. You're going to have to just trust us this week. We're both going to go Guardians money line tonight to beat the White Sox.
Easy
That's
money.
What's up. Easy. All right, Phil says easy money. Yeah, they're third in the AL Central. Guardians are first. The Twins are the only other team to look out for as that race continues. All right, we're going to transition. We're going to pivot. We know everybody here at Saucy Brew Works what they want to talk about. They want us to talk some Cleveland Browns, Phil.
Oh, yeah.
So you and me were texting. We had Pete, who's behind the invisible glass. Since we're out here, we're out here remote. We're not in our normal Sports Parlor BetJack studio.
Yep.
It's an 11-game suspension for Deshaun Watson. When you saw that come through, what were your initial thoughts? And kind of now that you've had a little bit of time to digest it, where are you at now with the 11-game suspension?
I'm okay with it. They had to do something more than 6. Because I guess that they wanted a whole year, and but I didn't think they would give him a whole year because it's tough because he missed a whole year last year.
Yeah.
And then Sue already stated in the CBA that there's nothing that she can do to fine him. To suspend him more than a year.
Yep.
So the 11 games, $5 million fine is. It's okay. And I know he's feeling like, all right, I can put this behind me. People are gonna, some people are not gonna feel the best about it, but it don't matter what decision was made. Somebody's gonna feel some type of way about it.
I know, and I definitely wanted to follow up with you on that and back you up in saying that I know whatever was going to happen with this, people were going to be upset. But this was unfortunately because for the Browns and their fans, they obviously didn't want to see him get suspended at all.
Yeah.
And then you have people that wanted to see the league throw the book at him, a year or 2-year suspension. This was the route that makes the most sense for all sides because they get him suspended. They keep him out of federal court. He's not going to try to sue the league. It was a settlement. So I think this was the best case scenario for kind of all parties, Phil.
Yeah, it was because it's glad to be over because it's been going on too long.
Yeah.
And they've just been stringing it out, and it's just finally over now.
Yeah, and it definitely was drawn out. I mean, think of how long we've been putting up with this process, man, since March, since we traded for the guy. So they had their hearings, then they had to submit the post-hearing briefs, then Sue had to read the briefs, then she made her decision. Then there was that 3-day time span where the league could decide if they wanted to appeal. They did. Then we went through the appeal process, and they ultimately fall in the settlement. I'm with you. I feel like a lot of fans are with you that just thank God it's over. Yeah. And thank God that we could get to talking about some actual football on the field for once for our Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's going to be a good year. We got to figure out what they're going to do, for the first 11 games. Right now, they're saying they're not going to pull the trigger on the Jimmy Garoppolo
I know. Is that surprising to you at all?
No, it just shows you don't want no turmoil in your QB room, and it shows that they're gonna, put their trust in Jacoby.
For sure, I'm like I look at it like this: you can't, at this point, because I really wanted Jimmy G, and I think you know that, but at this point, man, there's no way that they could have just given the guy the keys to this thing with what 20 days until the season opener. That just was not going to happen. So it's going to be Jacoby. I think that's a good thing that it's going to be Jacoby because he's familiar. He went through OTAs. He's gone through camp. And I think he's going to be okay. What's your confidence level right now? If you had to rank it 1 through 10, 1 being no confidence at all, and 10 being that this guy is not that far of a drop-off from Deshaun Watson, what's your confidence level right now in Jacoby Brissett?
Oh, I'll say 7.5.
Okay. So you really think he could get the job done and kind of hold it down for these 11 games?
He's been in this league a while now, and then he's proved that he's the type of quarterback. He's not going to go out there and wow you and win MVP type guy. He's going to go out there and basically follow directions, and I feel like Szczynski is gonna, be the type of coach that's not gonna, put him in situations where he can mess it up. So they're gonna put him in a lot of situations where he can, do the check down. You still got your two-headed monster running back, so that's what we're gonna rely on.
That's the key to me, and that's exactly where I wanted to take this conversation. So I'm glad you did. Now that they've increased the suspension from 6 games up to 11. I want to put it all on the line out here live in front of all these good people at Saucy Brew Works down here in Ohio City and Cleveland. You have to keep Kareem Hunt in Cleveland now because they need him as a critical part of that passing game to catch those little checkdowns from Jacoby Brissett to keep this offense moving. I don't think you could mess around and trade Kareem Hunt right now. You got to keep that man in Cleveland.
You might be able to because I feel like a Dearness Johnson can be that filler for that Kareem Hunt. He's a smaller guy, but at the same time, he's a better pass catcher than Chubb. So I think if they, if they really want to, I think win and pull the trigger, I would say, use Kareem as some trade bait, see what's out there. If not, keep him. I think it could be a win-win either way. It'll put a lot more on Chubb and to see where Dearness is and if he's going to step up or not. And, they'll figure it out.
So that brings us to everybody's favorite game, the schedule game. So it's an 11-game suspension. I was very confident, a little bit more confident in Jacoby when it was just 6 games. Now that it's bumped up to 11, I'm a little bit more nervous. I'll be honest. I know you said your confidence around a 7, 7.5. I think mine's right in the middle at a 5, that we don't know what we're going to get. I don't know what I'm signing up for. What do you think the Browns' record could be with Jacoby Brissett instead of Deshaun Watson?
I think Jacoby can realistically, out of those 11 games, win 6.
That's what they were last year. They were 6-5 through 11 games last year. So,
and I feel like if he can win 6 or 7 games, and have Deshaun come in and carry the torch for the rest of the season, I think they can easily win 10, 11 games.
So I got the schedule pulled up right here. Week 1 at Carolina. Baker Mayfield, he's going to be starting that game.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be confident. He's going to be excited. Still think the Browns get that one done?
It's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be a close one because, like I said, he's going to have that Tostitos bag on his shoulder. So, he's going to be feeling real dangerous. So, but I think it's going to be a fun one. And I would move it to prime time because I know Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett are just licking their chops right now.
Yeah. How about that secondary too? I mean, they're going to be healthy. You would expect, they're going to be ready to go for that Week 1 matchup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think they got to. They got to do it though, because that's the thing.
Sure.
The Browns. The last time the Browns won an opener, was 10 years ago. So it's finally time to put that behind them. And I think what better an opponent to put that behind them than Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers as just a competitor for you. And I know the defensive side of the NFL better than anybody. You think the dudes in that locker room right now are hoping, they're praying that it's Baker Week 1, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. They know him, and Baker knows this is going to be probably one of the toughest games he plays all year.
Yeah,
because the team knows him so well. They know his flaws, and they know what gets under his skin and rattles him. So it's going to be a fun game, and watch. It's going to get real chippy.
You think? You think that there's moments in that game where the ref – that's my favorite. When the ref comes in, they're like, all right.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I believe it will get chippy.
Ooh, all right. We obviously got a couple weeks before we, really take off and gives our picks, predictions for that game. So we'll keep this rolling. We'll keep the schedule game alive. The Browns' home opener is against the New York Jets. Mm-hmm. Zach Wilson already hurt himself in the preseason, so that could very well be Joe Flacco versus Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. I
like the Browns' chances at home in that one.
I like it too, but don't forget Joe Flacco. He's played in this division. He knows it as well. So, I wouldn't put it past him as well. But I think that their beginning of their schedule is great for this suspension and great for Jacoby because it's not that much difficulty. I think they can, they really work hard and play mistake-free football. They can get through the beginning half of the season.
And I think people are with you on that, and that's why there's a lot of people that are still very confident in the Browns is because what you just said right there, mistake-free football. That's what the Browns did not have last year with Baker Mayfield, and you could chalk it up to bad play. You could chalk it up to the schemes. You could chalk it up to the shoulder injury. Probably a mix of all three of those things, but he was turning over the football in the most inopportune spots. We saw it on Christmas Day, and that's ultimately why the Browns lost a lot of football games. So if Jacoby could just not turn that football over, man, the Browns could be in an all right spot.
For sure, and I think I'm excited, man, for whoever's that quarterback because I think any quarterback in this league, they look at these weapons that they got at wide receiver now and running back with the Browns and then the O-line. They would love to be here. You know what I mean? So, but I think even with the injuries on the O-line right now, I still think they can get somebody that can fill that spot.
Yeah, for sure. They'll patch it up. It's a smart regime. Now they'll figure that out. So then they got week 3, and then we'll stop here playing the schedule game for a little bit because we did want to talk about this. Whip people through that AFC North a little bit. Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
In Cleveland. I think that's a Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah.
That bad boy is going to be jumping. I know Where you at with the Steelers? Because now obviously we've got to follow them along for what's going to be the second preseason this weekend. What do you think they do, man? You think they go Mitch? You think they do Kenny Pickett right away? Where do you think they go with this?
To be honest, I think they're going to go with the rookie.
You think?
I just think with the mojo going, and then the rookies, they got Pickens. He's been doing
He's
his
gonna
thing.
be
He's gonna be nasty, man.
bro. That breaks my heart. We wanted him
they're
so
moving
bad.
they're moving Claypool to the slot now. So yeah, and they're doing that because he's a big body against those little bodies, and what I'm saying, and I'm thinking as a young guy at quarterback, he's gonna be thinking short passes.
Yeah,
Put your big guy right there in the slot, boom. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So we'll see.
Damn. Yeah, that the whole George Pickens thing, I gotta say, just rubs me the wrong way, bro. Because we both laid out that was our pick, for the Browns in the second round. He was there. They decided to trade back. I think he is going to be very good for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I do think if they want to go that route that you just laid out, start the rookie, see what you have. You got to find out what you have. And I think that could be what they do right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll see. Then that leads us to Atlanta, week 4.
Yeah.
I know that they got better on the offensive side of the football. I just don't have any faith in Atlanta. Maybe I'm dumb for saying that, but their quarterback's Marcus Mariota. Don't we kind of know what he's capable of?
Yeah, but at the same time, he can use his legs, and any QB that can use his legs, it just, it makes you think about a whole other thing while you're out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it has you always thinking about, can he run? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you got to always have a backup in your, your play call in case he rolls out, scrambles. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a walk, a cupcake game or anything like that. They're still going to have to work. And then with that offense, the defense is definitely going to have to step up for that game.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think this is probably, obviously it's hard to predict 4-0, but we just laid out the case of how it could be 4-0 throughout the first 4, the Chargers. To me, that in my eyes, that's a hard game, man. Justin Herbert, that one could be hard.
It's going to be a hard game against the Chargers, but I still think they can pull it out. You know what I mean? And the defense, and this year, I think the defense is going to be the key for this season, and especially going against the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? Herbert, if you can get that defense rolling, Miles and those guys to get after Herbert and get him rattled, anything, they can do anything.
The thing is, here is the point. With the defense, I'm with you. I think if this defense is elite, the sky is the limit, and the door could be cracked open for the Browns to steal this thing away once Deshaun gets healthy. But it has to be there right away. Remember last year when it took him some time, and you were like, chill out, it's going to take him some time. There's a lot of new faces, and that was all true. I think now, though, they got to jump into this thing full right away. They got to hit on all cylinders right away because they're going to have to carry this team. They're going to have to win a lot of games for the Browns.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have to be rolling because they just can't be like, all right, we can just push through it to, Deshaun get out of suspension. They got to be rolling to where when Deshaun get here, hey, Deshaun, hey, we rolling. Let's don't miss a beat. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, especially because some of those games, like, we just sang Jacoby Brissett's praises a little bit. We know he's not going to turn the football over. He's also not all world. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. He's going to make the safe throws. There's going to be a lot of punts. There's going to be a lot of kicks, because he's not going to turn the football over, but he's also not going to wow you.
Yeah.
So I do think that the defense needs to show up. I think turning the football over is going to be big. That's something that they didn't do much of last year until the end of the season. I really hope that they could just pick up where they left off at the end of last year because they kept a lot of the same faces. Shouldn't that philosophy hold true then?
Yeah, it should. And like I said, only time will tell. And Odell's still out there. Who knows?
Wow,
week 11. You know what I mean? He might want to come back with Deshaun.
All right, so put that out there. Is that something? Is that something that, say you're running the Browns? I love doing this with you. You're Phil Taylor, general manager of the Cleveland Browns. You know what you know because we went through all year last year with Odell Beckham Jr. Come week 11, Deshaun's coming back. That offense, maybe it looks a little stale. It's doing all right, but let's just call it all right. You pick up your phone and you call Odell Beckham Jr. What do you do if you're general manager Phil Taylor in that spot?
I call him, see what he's doing, see if he's staying in shape. How he feeling. Is he ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
And if he's ready to rock and roll, we can try to get something going. You know what I mean? That's the thing. They're gonna have to pay him something.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I think really nobody's really signed him because they're trying to wait and see how his knee is going to be.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure, he'll get some workouts if he's not still in contract with the Rams. So.
No, yeah, he's a free agent. So,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
he could do whatever. And I agree with you. I also think right now, like so early in the preseason,
Mm-hmm.
teams are just trying to figure out what they've got. Let me see what we have on the field before we bring in a guy that, he's a big personality. He's going to demand some serious targets and be a big part of that offense.
Oh, yeah. And I just think it's a patient game. If I'm Odell, I wouldn't want to rush back either.
Yeah.
It's a long season. Guys are gonna get banged up, and he's gonna have plenty of opportunities to come work out for somebody, and hopefully, it's us. Right when Deshaun gets back.
What do you make of this? So the other day, I don't know if you saw this at all. The NFL on Instagram put the picture of Baker in his first game in Carolina, walking out of the tunnel. OBJ commented on that picture and said, "Let's shine." There must not be as much ill will, animosity.
He said, "Go shine." He didn't say "let's shine." He said,
"Go shine."
Yeah.
What do you make of that, though?
He's still showing it. It ain't no, no
hard feelings.
Yeah, no hard feelings. Go shine. You got another opportunity. A lot of people don't get that second opportunity like that. So that's a respectable thing to do.
Think he feels bad at all with how it ended here and just the kind of like in blow up fashion, and that there's a lot of people in Cleveland.
I felt like it put a bad taste in both of their mouths about each other. That really wasn't. It really wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It was really the outsiders talking and things like that, and all the media making the stories what it is. So I don't really think they had a beef at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just, Odell trying to do his thing and, Sam Baker trying to do his thing. It just didn't click. And it could have been multiple things. It could have been the coaching. It could have been the call. You never know. You know, and I feel like we'll never know that until like one of them come out and say it. But, it is what it is.
And we've heard that Odell never wanted to be in Cleveland. And I think that a piece of, maybe that's a piece of it. Maybe Baker took offense to that, like, oh, you don't even want to be here kind of thing. I know you just said that, he commented "go shine," not "let's shine."
Yeah.
You think any chance that Carolina would entertain that, or probably not? Or you think he would? That's probably like not happening.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I would be surprised.
Can you imagine if
I would be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
But I just don't think Odell will go there.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
All righty. I think that's all the Browns that we'll talk right now. When they come back, when Deshaun comes back, though, we do have to get into this. It's obviously going to be a big deal. I will say this, though, Phil. It is Week 12 against who else but the Houston Texans in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on all that?
It's a welcome home game. But I think, man, I think I don't know, it was kind of set up maybe, but I don't know. It is what it is. But I think it's going to be a good game, and I know he's going to go out there and wanting to have the best game in his life, and I know Houston's probably going to throw the sink at him. So he needs to be ready.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's going to be a lot of Deshaun Watson fans in there, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure, on both sides.
It'll be probably 50-50, some cheers, some boos.
He's going to – and that's the thing. He's going to it's going to take a lot to, for him to, go in the public and, rebuild, that character. And, but he's going to get the boo just like anybody else, and the Big Ben situation. He got 4 games, and he had some way worse allegations than, Deshaun Watson. So, he got through that and ended up having a great rest of his career.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited to see that one. Like you said, that to me is the game of the year.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, from an on-the-field standpoint, it's probably not. It's probably, candidly, a game that the Browns should win pretty easily. But just that week leading up where, it's going to be – not nationally televised. There will be a local game, but there's going to be national media reporting on that all week.
Oh, yeah,
it's going to be a fanfare. And, Deshaun's first game back in Houston is going to be his first regular season game against the Browns. You think obviously he's a franchise quarterback. We know he's talented. What kind of jitters play in for him there, though?
I don't think it'd be necessarily any jitters. It'll be nervousness because, it'll be his first game back in, over a year and a half, and probably a total of more than a year, away from football.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going to be that, but after them first series or two, it'll be back to what he knows.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to that one for sure, and hopefully looking forward to, that's such a quote unquote easy opponent that could be something where the Browns just kind of put their foot on it and then get their season going in the right direction to spearhead them through the playoffs. I really think that could be kind of a great opportunity for the Browns.
Oh, yeah.
As far as win total goes, what are you thinking now? It's obviously a 17-game season. I know we played that game when the schedule first dropped. Where you at now with the suspension announced at 11 games? What are you thinking for the Browns? I think the BetJack Sportsbook right now has them at 9.5, over under 9.5.
I would say 9-10 games.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking right now, 9 to 10 games.
Yeah, it really depends what happens. I think, too, once Deshaun comes back, a big chunk of your schedule right there, divisional opponents.
Yeah.
I think 3 of those last 6, literally half, are divisional games. So he's
and that's good that those games are when Deshaun is back, because those are your key games. You can, lose all those other games. You win your 6 division games, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, those are the 6 games. Those are your money games right there.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, we just talked a little bit of division odds with the Guardians. Let's do the same thing here at the Browns. Their odds plummeted. So I don't know if you took a look at this. When we did our, preseason bets, all that good stuff, they were plus 175, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They are down to plus 450 right now. So $1 to pay $4.50, $100 to pay $450.
Yeah, that's tough.
They're underdogs now. For
sure.
Big time.
And
still above Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah, I still don't count them out of the division. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, if Jacoby Brissett can play mistake-free football these first 11 games, and if it's somebody else, it'd be even better. But if he can play, mistake-free football, I don't think they got nothing to worry about. I think he can seriously win 6 or 7 out of those 11.
Man, the city would have a different type of buzz. You
to
want talk about people are conflicted, still. And I think understandably so with the allegations and stuff like that. But you want to talk about sheerly football come fall when people are just excited about the Browns. They just want to talk about the Browns. Let Deshaun come back and the record be 7-4. It would be different. Even 6-5 and Deshaun comes back. The city's going to have a different type of buzz to it. Speaking of city, we're out here downtown in Ohio City at Saucy Brew Works. We thank them for having us out here with BetJack. It's been a good time. Sports Parlor podcast, always fun talking some guards. Obviously, they have a big matchup today at 7-10 against the Chicago White Sox, talking some Browns. Deshaun Watson suspension, of course, as well. Phil, let's kick it to something different, and maybe we'll do this. Maybe this could be a little prequel to what we could do on the show this coming week. We got something new up on the BetJack training camp called BetJack Specials. Okay. So we got a bunch of different stuff. First one up that I'm going to pull up on here is the Ohio team wins special. Which team in the state of Ohio is going to win the most games in 2022? Ohio State Buckeyes are the betting favorite, plus 125. Then we got the Bengals, then Bearcats, then Browns. We got the Toledo Rockets, if we got any believers of the Rockets. We got the Red Hawks, the Flashes, the Bobcats, the Zips, the Green Falcons. What do you think, man?
I don't know. I'm going to go with
probably Ohio State. Ohio State is the bet that makes the most sense.
Ohio State or the Bengals, probably.
Yeah. Ohio State's going to be so good.
Yeah.
Could we just take a minute and really discuss how good they're going to be with Ryan Day again? I think this is year 3, year 4 for Ryan Day. So the Buckeyes are going to be good. I think CJ Stroud is my pick to win the Heisman. What are your thoughts? Do you have any at all about this college football season?
I got to watch more, but I know Stroud, he's going to be one of those guys that he's looking to be one of those top 5 picks next year for the draft. So we'll see. It's you can't talk too early in college football because stuff can change real quick in college.
Yeah. I feel like I didn't watch that much college football last year. Did you?
Not as much. You know what I'm saying? I feel like college season, it just be so many different games.
It's hard to follow.
It sucks because I'll be wanting to watch some of the good ones, but all of them be at the same time where Saturday is like you watching games all day, all day, literally.
Just all right, might as well just block off the schedule. I'm with you there. So yeah, that's my goal. How about this? Like what is it called? New Year's resolution. My football season resolution is just watch more college games because that's something that I haven't been able to do. And I think with BetJack now we will be able to watch more. Just because put some free tokens on it and see what the hell happens.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what's big in college, and it's something we haven't done a lot of in the NFL because the NFL you kind of know going in who should win the game. In college, it's big on spreads, man. So I'm excited. I think I'm going to go down to the shoe for Ohio State, Notre Dame, their first game of the year.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
nice.
I'm going to bet that spread. So I'm going to try to see if they could win by over 2 touchdowns. That's different. That's much, much harder from a sports betting standpoint than just straight up betting it.
Oh, yeah, the spread stuff a little different, man. That stuff can be, that can get you in trouble.
Yeah, right. That's when you start running into those bad beats a lot quicker than not.
Yeah, the bad beats. Yeah, that's tough.
Fun stuff, man. Fun stuff. Yeah. What do you say we wrap it up? Do you have any final thoughts on the Sports Parlor for this special episode?
Oh yeah, this is cool, man. We need to do more like these.
Yeah, definitely cool. So are you gonna lock in? I'm gonna make you pick because I said I wasn't going to, but I'm gonna make you pick. You're gonna pick the Buckeyes or the Bengals to record the most wins in the 2022 season.
Let's see. Let's go to BetJack specials. Here we go. Ohio team win special.
Yeah, and then there you go. You can list them all out. The Buckeyes are the favorite. Then you got the Bengals. Then you got the Bearcats. It's a good spread up there.
I'm gonna definitely go. I'm gonna go Buckeyes because college. It's just total wins.
Yeah, just total win. All you have to do is finish the 2022 season with the most number of wins.
It's all football.
All footballs. But here's the thing. Is there's the 17 game schedule in the NFL maybe could lend itself towards the Bengals. See, you're making Ohio bet against itself, man.
Yeah, but in the NCAA they play 12, and then they got a conference championship. It's 13.
Yep.
And then now it's the bowl game or playoff. So they're playing. 14, 15 games. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so in
I'm gonna still go with Ohio State on that.
Yeah, I think so too. I like Ohio State there.
We're bet the 250 on Ohio State.
So listen to this, and this will be fun because this lends itself very well for the show. Now that we got the BetJack specials up, you and I can make our own bets every week. So we do that. We'll have to give them a little bit of a heads up, but we could have like Phil's bet. Whatever you want it to be, literally whatever you want it to be. Yeah. And they could build it out because right now they got like Ohio State player special over under. You got CJ Stroud regular season passing touchdowns over under 44.5. You got everything. So we could build our own bets in here now and kind of do it on the show and get people to ride with or against our bets. Yeah, so we can get a little bit crazy. That's something to look forward to on the Sports Parlor podcast. We thank everybody for coming out here to Saucy Brew Works down here in Ohio City, in downtown Cleveland. Thank you guys so much for watching a special episode of the Sports Parlor podcast. Until next time, we'll see you. Peace.
Peace.